Alright, and the super trailer starts off with this beautiful landscape shot over Panama as we move on to another scene where we have this very tall building and you can see a player falling while being harnessed, and we're going to see that that is going to be a math daily challenge where players are going to be dropping as they are trying to figure out a math problem and a math equation. We have Darrell praying because he's most likely going to be seeing this daily challenge or another Heights daily challenge, and we heard the backstory on this previous episode, the episode 2 of All Stars 3, about why Darrell is afraid of heights, and so he is praying. He's not going to do well on this challenge, I feel. Then we get this helicopter scene where we have seen this on the previous trailers, and we're going to see it a little bit later on in this trailer as well, but we have this helicopter where players are like being tethered by a very thin line on the back, and they are being able to like look out across the sea or across a river or across a body of water, and they're going to be able to look out over this body of water on this helicopter, and then at some points they're going to cut the tether between the player and the helicopter, and the player is going to fall into the water. I don't know who this may be. This could be Brad. It looks like a very tall individual. I think I see a beard. Yeah, and the name is very small on the helmet, so I do think that this could be Brad. All right, and we can see here that at this point in this challenge, which I think could be earlier, that's why they're showing us so much of it, because they showed us when Wes took off his helmet and threw it on the ground, and that was the first challenge, and then we saw a lot of the mud challenge in the previous trailer, the original trailer that came out, and that's going to be in episode 3. So this could be like episode 4's challenge, or maybe episode 5. It's going to be coming up very soon after the Mud Pit daily challenge. But we can see that Derek is in this one along with Mark, and yes, they're going to be in this heat, and I do feel like they're trying to figure out a combination or trying to figure out this equation, and the person that gets it first will then drop the other 2 competitors. So I have a feeling that Yes could get another lock into this challenge and maybe get into the authority for a 3rd time, or maybe Mark and Derek's skills are being underestimated by me in this moment. Then we have Brad, who's getting ready to go, Brad is going to be doing this challenge alongside Nehemiah on the far left, and then Wes is going to be in the middle, if I remember from the original trailer breakdown that I did. And now let's go into the voiceovers, where so far we've heard a woman screaming, TJ saying, "You call yourselves challenge legends? Prove it." I think I hear Darrell say, "There's no effing way," which I think he's talking about a Heights Daily challenge, which is either going to be looking over the helicopter or this math challenge off of a very tall building. I think we hear Kayla saying, "Are you kidding me?" And then we have Brad here saying, "Well, kids, math has never been more exciting than this." We can see Veronica doing this challenge, and we can see by the names on the podium or the board that Naya is going to be to her left and Kendall is going to be to her right. Then we'll see some painted nails and a tattoo, and all I can think about is that this could be Kayla, and we can see from her left-hand side that Kellyanne is going to still be in the game as well, and I'm trying to make out the name on the right-hand side, or is that Kayla? Oh, that's Kayla. So is that another person with tattoos? Could that be John A? Does John A have tattoos on her arm? I thought this was Kayla because she had tattoos on her arm. I guess John A or Sylvia? But we can see that Kendall is going to not win this one, as she is seen falling. Both Kendall and Naya are going to fall down, while Veronica is going to win her heat. And we get this scene with Naya where, if we remember from the original trailer that came out a couple of weeks ago, there were the women lined up. They're hooked up to a harness, and it looks like they're going to be doing a trivia challenge, and this trivia challenge looks like it's going to be acting similarly to last season's, where they're going to be yanked back, but instead of being on top of a giant building where you're going to be falling, instead you're going to be around the water, and it's going to yank you back, and you're going to be flung into the water, and they're going to unhook you. And we can see Naya here is going to get yanked back here. Jordan is falling from the giant building, so he's not going to do well on the math portion. We have somebody jumping off the helicopter. We can see 2 players here. I cannot make out either one of these players. They are silhouetted. They're too far away. Derek is not going to do well in this math challenge, as it looks like he's going to be the one that's falling off in his heat. Looks like Nehemiah is doing the helicopter challenge, where they are going to be tethered and hanging outside of the helicopter, and then his tether gets pulled and he is falling into the water. And here we can see Veronica and Kayla doing what looks to be the trivia challenge, and Kayla gets yanked. And she gets flung back. Then we have Nehemiah tackling Yes. But I'm looking forward to this mud daily challenge. As we can see, this looks to be one of the first rounds, as everybody seems relatively not as dirty as we could see in this challenge, as I think this will be like musical chairs, where they'll continuously take balls away in each round. And if you don't have a ball, by the time everybody else has a ball, you will be pulled out of the game. We can have, looks like there's another D name. Is that Derek? And Wes is tackling Derek for his ball. There's no other D name outside of Darrell than Derek. So yeah, he's going to be tackling Derek for his ball. So Sylvia is trying to get out of the reach of who I think is Ronnie from a previous scene that we saw. That is Kendall. I can see the Kendal, but Kendall is there trying to take the ball from Sylvia. And I think there is, because we're going to see it very soon, that there's going to be this rivalry or this division within the house. And it looks like there could be Kayla, Sylvia, and John A. And they're talking to Kendall, or it looks like they're talking to Kendall. And they could be on opposite sides. I mean, we saw Sylvia in episode 2 give her sabotage to Kellyanne, kind of say like it's good to take shots at Kendall and Kellyanne. So there could be this rivalry between Kellyanne and Kendall towards Sylvia, Kayla, and John A., where John A. has linked in with the younger crowd. Then we have Wes here at the bar scene. This could be a classic challenge switcheroo here, where we hear MJ saying to Wes, I know you don't have all these numbers. And now what it looks like MJ is talking to Wes, which from what we hear MJ saying, I know you don't have all these numbers, it's kind of in line that we would think that, oh yeah, he's talking to Wes, saying that he has the numbers, because Wes can say that he has all these numbers, he has all this power, yet when MJ talks to other people, he may not see that Wes has all this power, or doesn't believe that Wes has all this power. So to me, this could be a classic switcheroo where MJ is actually talking to somebody completely different. He's not talking to Wes. But then again, with what he is actually saying in this clip, I know you don't have all these numbers, makes me believe that he is actually talking to Wes, and there could be this division between MJ and Wes. And also, Wes had an interview with Rolling Stone about All-Stars coming back to the challenge realm and playing in All-Stars 3. And Wes in that article at some point singles out MJ and Yes, saying that they were under manipulation by Veronica. Then we have this shot of Wes, who it looks like this is right before the Mud Daily Challenge, where he says, I can feel all their eyes on me. I'm going to F you guys up. We can see here that we can see Jemmy's face. We can see, I don't know who that is. Is that Kayla? I don't know, but their eyebrows are on fleek. Derek, Wes is back. And then you have Yes here, who I was just talking about it. They have a rivalry with one another here, and it's starting to get big. And then we have Kendall, and it just seems like from seeing the duvet and how it's looking, and it's the same pattern. It looks to be the same pattern. And so to me, this isn't a classic challenge switcheroo. I do think that Kendall is talking with John A., Sylvia, and Kayla here. And this is at the point where we see Kendall saying, they're picking us off like we're nothing. So this could be that at some point, these three are in the authority, and they decide that they're going to come to Kendall, telling her, like, hey, we're throwing you into the elimination. And this is where Kendall is saying they're picking us off like we're nothing, talking about the younger crowd, talking about the younger contestants, the younger women who are throwing in the classic OG crowd. Then we have Veronica where, again, I think possibly because we saw her as the last woman standing in her heat on the tower math problem daily challenge, I think Veronica could be in the Authority, and she's on the red couch. As we saw in episode 2, they were sitting in the red couch. I don't know if that's open to everybody at any time, but it seemed like in episode 2, they were like, we should make this the area for the Authority. So I think that going forward, they're going to be just chilling out on this red couch. So I think that this is a point saying that Veronica is in the Authority, and she's saying, I don't have a problem saying Kellyanne's name. So I think there is going to be this sort of coup that maybe Veronica is going to say Kellyanne's name, and maybe that starts a war. And yeah, this is going to be super interesting. We get a shot of Kellyanne, and this is where we hear Kellyanne saying Veronica is like a big spider trying to eat her prey. And then she's laying in bed with the muscle massager saying, I have to kill her. Veronica laughing as we hear Tina saying, y'all are some effed up bees. And does this mean that Tina somehow turns her luck around and gets into the Authority? That is a huge switcheroo there. Like, that would be incredible to see. Tina and Veronica in the Authority. We have the players leaving the house to go to a challenge. We have Derek, we have Kellyanne, we have Naya. We can clearly see on their jerseys they only have 1 star, so none of these players at this point have gone into elimination, and one, yes, is there seen, and he only has 1 star. At this point, we hear somebody, and I think it's Nehemiah, who says, I just want to know what those stars mean. Then we have, once we see TJ here, we have Darrell saying TJ's got something up his sleeve. When does TJ not have something up his sleeve? We get this silhouette of everybody leaving. I think they're heading off to a challenge or an elimination, as I think that is yes. I think I can make out Brad, maybe Kayla. It's hard to tell from the profiles only. Maybe Kendall's in the background. I don't know who. Jordan. I think I can make out his mullet. Darrell running on a treadmill, which I saw the front of their mansion. It looks impeccable, but I saw the where Wes was doing his running and being able to look out is incredible. I would love that. That would be incredible to have a treadmill near a giant window like that. That is incredible. Mark looking at, he's going to punch the camera. I wonder if this is him coming back from episode 2's elimination where he won against Latyrian, and he comes back, he takes off his shirt, and this is like, ugh, and he's going to have a confessional being like, how are you going to try to take a shot at the Godfather? At this point, we hear Nehemiah saying, if it's a banger, I'm gonna bang. Then we have an elimination where somebody's in a cage trying to wreck a wall and try to break a star wall. Remembering the daily challenge from Double Agents where Leroy and Casey won, and they had to like eat a whole bunch of disgusting stuff and then have to look at riddles and figure out a way to get out of the cage. Maybe that's exactly what this is. They are gonna have to like figure out a code, a puzzle, to then get a hammer to break out, and the first person to get out of their cage and then ring a bell will win and stay in the game. I cannot tell who is in this elimination, but if we see here is an elimination where it looks to be the same one that Tori and Georgia did in War of the Worlds 2, and the same kind of similar challenge or elimination that Cara and Laurel did against Teresa and Camilla in Rivals, where you have to push all these plates out, and the person that has the most plates pushed in will win this challenge, or maybe they're trying to knock each other off, and if you get knocked off, you DQ that round. So I think that this is going to be very similar, and we can see Yes is going to be in this elimination, going into his first elimination in his challenge career. Then we have someone in a cage cylinder? I don't know what this elimination could be for, or who's going to be doing this elimination, and I've never seen anything like this. And I can't make out who that person is, but whoever's doing this is going to be taken off in a stretcher. One person who's going to be in this elimination is going to be taken off in a stretcher. I wonder if somebody or if 2 people are going to be in the cylinder together, and you're going to have to try to push the cylinder and make it roll to your side. You're trying to get to a certain side. and somebody's going to be really hurting at the end of this. I can't make out who this person is. I don't know, but Jordan's in the background. So at this point, Jordan is going to be sent into this elimination, but it's sad to see somebody being taken off, being medically carted off, and yeah, it's really sad. We can see John A is stressed out. Maybe this is the same elimination, maybe it's not, but John A at some point is holding her face, as we can hear from, at this point, we hear MJ saying all the eliminations, and then John A is thrown in the middle of it saying my worst nightmare, and then MJ finishes off his sentence saying felt like death. TJ at this point says, I've brought in some reinforcements, and we can see TJ on the beach, and there's this ATV where it looks like a blonde competitor is coming out of the ATV, and maybe there's going to be another medical disqualification. And I don't think it has anything to do with people leaving in eliminations, because somebody's going to have to leave anyways, but I wonder if there's going to be some sort of another medical disqualification on the season, to where somebody, one of the alternates on site, are going to be called in and then come into the game. It looks like to be a long, blonde-haired competitor. I know Beth was initially supposed to be on the season. Then I heard that there was a big commotion happening at the airport when I think she either saw Veronica or Tina, and she decided that she was going to pull out. I don't know if she stayed as an alternate or she just turned around and got on another plane or called the production team, but this could be Beth, maybe? That'd be interesting. What if she came in and Veronica and Tina were still on the season? That's what we really wanted to see. Let's be real. I heard Bananas and Beth were supposed to be on this season, and when they pulled out, I was like, okay, well, that kind of sucks, because all these storylines could have played out, but maybe we could be getting Beth. We can see Derek being all excited about something. Then we have Wes just in his underwear, flaunting his stuff. Calvin Klein, eat your heart out. But we have Jemmy, who's doing a voiceover saying, who let this a-hole run this game? Wes says, get him out of the game. My gosh, he's about to eat some Nutella. Like, do you get abs from eating Nutella? Because if so, I need to get some Nutella. Brad with his wide eye. I'm sorry, but every time Brad does his giant wide eyes, I laugh hysterically, because why does he have to bug out his eyes so much? But Brad in this moment saying sabotage right in their direction. So maybe Brad wins a challenge, gets a sabotage, and is wanting to sabotage somebody else on the other side of the game. Maybe there's going to be some warring factions within the house. Maybe we heard him stick up for Wes. Mark seemed to be cool with Wes. Maybe there is this division within the house on the guy's side now, and Brad is going to be on Wes's side, and Wes is going to start a war on the other side with maybe Yes and Jordan. That could be very exciting to see. Then we have Sylvia. I think they're going to be doing some sort of toga party, which could be a fun throwback. It's always good to have like a toga party, a Greek party. But we have Sylvia saying, gone are the days of men running the game. So maybe there could be this giant women's alliance happening within this game, which could be very, very fun. Then we see Ronnie laughing after Sylvia is being said, hey, gone are the days of men running this game. And we heard from Ronnie a couple of times in this past 2 episodes. And in episode 1, she said that she was coming into the game not really having a strategy, and maybe that was bad for her game, and she was worried a little bit about the politics or the social aspect of the game. She also was frustrated with how she was performing in the daily challenges thus far, saying like, oh, I'm moving at a slow speed. I'm not doing as well as I wanted to do. I'm coming into this game a winner. I do nothing but win when it comes to the challenge. And maybe she starts to get a little bit more into the politics side of the game. And maybe she starts making friends with like Sylvia and Kayla and being like, why are the men running the authority? Or saying something like that. And it's like, hey, we're women, we can run this. Let's run this show. Let's run this game. And that's when Sylvia's like, yeah, you're right. And maybe this is how Ronnie gets into the fold and gets far into the game and possibly into the finals. And maybe she can make it three in a row, winning the challenge after coming back, after not being back on the challenge since season 7. But Ronnie looks to be having a good time there. And then we have Kayla looking very intense, about to do a challenge. Tina in a visor. Maybe Tina's taken over the visor role since Evelyn hasn't been back on the challenge in forever. Then we have Ronnie looking intense, where we can see Veronica, and then Kayla's also looking like with the hair in the background. Then we have Bananas, who looks to be Skyping in. It doesn't look like Bananas is actually on the season. I wonder if Wes goes into the Skype room where they go and can like Skype their families, and I wonder if Wes goes in there and Bananas is either already on the computer or Wes decides to call up Bananas. And that's where Bananas is laughing. Wes even says effing bananas. So I wonder if that's what's going to happen. That last time we saw Wes and Bananas, they were the best of friends, even though they were in elimination against each other in total madness. They were still coming into the game, working with each other, looking to have the best of times, looking to be the best of friends. And I think there was a lot of question marks on, after Wes was eliminated on Total Madness by Bananas, are they still friends? Wes was just on Bananas' NBC show not too long ago doing a slumber party. They look to be having a great time with one another. And now I do think that Wes will call up Bananas at some point during the season, and they're going to have a conversation with one another. Again, I heard Bananas was originally supposed to be on the show and then pulled out at what seems to be the last minute, but Bananas is having a great time, and I think that's who he's going to be talking to. And then we see Wes looking like he's going into elimination. At some point, Wes looks to have 2 stars on his shirt, if we remember back from the first trailer. So Wes will have 2 stars on his shirt at some point. So this is Wes going into an elimination. So we know Wes is going to see definitively 1 elimination on the season. It'll be who he's going up against in this particular elimination. Will he see another elimination? And if Wes is making a ton of enemies, he could be seeing more than 1 elimination on the season. And who will he be going up against in more eliminations? And can he pull out this win? Because Wes is coming in hot early on in this season. He wants to make power moves. He's not afraid to put lines in the house and cross some lines in the house. So this could be very, very intense. But it looks like this is the interview right before going into the elimination, and he is upset, and he goes, interview over, and he is ready to just go in there and take care of business. And then the final scene is Sylvia and Kayla laughing to themselves in the bathroom, getting ready for bed or getting ready for the day, but they're laughing. I think they're getting ready to try to take over this game, and it's like an evil laugh. It's like an evil laugh that gives me chills, because to me, it makes me feel like they're going to try to really make moves happen in this game. And that is it for the super trailer at the end of episode 1, the What's to Come this season on All Stars 3 trailer. That was at the end of episode 1. What do you think about this trailer? What do you think about this season so far? And what do you think about everything that I went over in this trailer? Did I get anything wrong? Did I miss anything? Let me know down in the comment section below. Are you enjoying this season so far? Who are you rooting for? Who are you rooting against? Let me know anything and everything down in the comment section below. And before I go, I want to give a special shout out thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you so much for your support and your generosity. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you to all of you for watching up to this point in this video. Thank you so much. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really, really soon with more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.